Hello everyone, welcome to live session episode 9 with Sirus Migration. My name is Suryapa. I'm an Australian registered migration agent. I've got Mr. Willem Oostig, one of our senior migration agents here, joining us with this live session. Sorry about that. So today we're going to focus on Queensland skill migration occupation lists and SMQ or the Queensland-based migration pathways. That's 190s and 491 categories. And also, I would like to give you some updates with the business visa categories, just because there are some changes coming up for certain people with my experience, because we've spoken to a lot of clients and they're looking at different options, and some people they were in just over the fence with the benchmarks in certain areas, especially in 188A. So the business visa changes are quite small. We could probably get through it fairly quickly, so I'll just touch base about business visa changes first, and then we'll go into the other categories. And also, we have seen a developing number of inquiries and questions about visa cancellations and what's going to happen, what's next. Mr. Willem's got quite substantial knowledge behind visa cancellations and also 482, 186 sectors. So if there's any questions that you would like to pop out, or if you need to get some knowledge about behind it, maybe we'll talk with Mr. Willem as well. So talking about business visas, 188 visa subclass. 188 visa subclass had 9 streams. It's going to come down to 4 streams, which I guess 188 within the 188 visa subclass, certain streams, not many people used it anyway. So the most active programs remain the same, which are 188A, 188B. So the major changes are going to go under for significant investor, premium investor, which in my experience, we have not seen many people, which was not a state-based invitation. It was mostly an invitation through Austrade. The investment requirement was 15 million. Quite honestly, I have not experienced many clients applying for. So, in that regards, it's shortened for good reasons. So there's not much to worry about. 188 ABC categories are there. The only bad news I heard is 132 category, which leads you straight into permanent residence, is going to be abolished or disappear from 1st of July. So it's a bit sad, but
any particular reason for that?
I guess giving more opportunities for people to come and establish and operate a business here, than giving that permanent residency pathway straight away. And even though 132 was a permanent residency, they had a mandatory monitoring period as well for 3 years. So rather than giving someone 132 and then cancel a permanent residency, I guess it's easier to give 188, give them a fair go of operating a business, and then monitor it and then grant the visa would have been easier. I guess to reduce, one of the reasons would have been reduce the monitoring requirements, and then giving them a hurdle to jump over at 888 stage. So that's one. The most important part with this business visa changes is the income benchmarks going to go from. So the turnover requirement used to be per annum 500,000, which is going to jump into $750,000 per annum. and the asset requirement between your personal business, between yourself and your partners, asset requirement is going to go up from 800,000 all the way up to 1.25 million. There are certain suggestions about the point systems, new introduced point system, but I have not seen any legitimate point systems come out. So I guess they're the most important changes. We have been in touch with most of the states in relation to our existing clients and also the clients who are expecting or getting ready to apply for the next season, because next round there is a bit of a urgency. A lot of clients, they are working to apply before the 1st of July changes comes in. But also the tough news is certain states, they have already notified they have used up their quota. But look, depending on your business plan or your expectations to come and establish here, please be in touch if you're expecting to apply before 1st of July. This visa cannot be done over a day, over a night. It has to be structured properly. You need to do your feasibilities, your initial business plans properly, and etc. So also we need to scrutinize and see the actual eligibility through your balance sheets and the asset valuations and etc. So we need a bit of time to understand it. And if you were to apply for this, we need to hurry up and get it through as soon as possible if you want to do it before 1st of July, because 1st of July is the due date for application, not for expression of interest. So you need to put the expression of interest through the state government and get an invitation and then apply before 1st of July. So that's a snapshot of business migration. Talking to BSMQ or Queensland State, they have already used up the quota. And very good news. We've seen good processing time or expedited processing time for our business visa clients lately. We have received many invitations and many visa grants this week. I was just teasing the staff last couple of days, saying how many grants can you handle a day. So we've been very blessed, and I think our clients were quite happy with all the outcomes. If you want to see a glimpse shot, we sometimes every now and then, when we have a exciting visa grant comes, we put it in our Facebook. Maybe go have a look. It's every time one of our clients get a visa, whether it's a small visa or a big visa, it just makes our day. It makes us happy. So that's our achievement throughout the journey.
And Azura, I heard this morning from Ashani that she had a 186 visa granted within 1 month.
Within 1 month.
That's a record. Friends out there, listen to this, 1 month from application to the grant house.
So 186 is a work permanent residency. So there's two ways to get it. One is directly into 186. You need to have an employer who's offering you a job, but you need to have 3-year work experience and IELTS completed with a skill assessment if you want to go directly to 186. But the client we've got the visa granted today was a TRT. So the client worked with a certain employer for 3 years and then got the visa granted through a transitional category, which is also called 482 TRT or 186 TRT stream. And we're very pleased, and congratulations to our client if you're watching it. And I think we had another 482 grant yesterday, or a 186 grant for an exciting client as well. So the processing is quite expedited, and yeah, things are moving. Australia's not wasting anyone's time anymore.
On the other side of the coin,
Yeah.
we just want to make sure that we reach out to our friends who might not be in that situation and might have a visa cancellation or a visa refusal, because it happens. It happens, and you need to be aware that there are people behind here, including myself, that can assist if you have a visa refused or a visa cancelled for all sorts of reasons we won't go through today, because there is already a video on, I think, our channel that talks about it in depth.
But if you have any specific questions, pop it out, put it in the comment section, and then we will answer it.
Exactly. And today, for example, we had 3 calls about family violence, partner visas getting cancelled. So there's a whole process involved, to get that turned around, and we can help you with that. So reach out, leave your email address, or give us a ring.
So some of these visa grants were for clients from China, Hong Kong, Japan last few days, for 482 and 186. So congratulations, enjoy your first day or the second day of your permanent residency, and now you're part of the system. So congratulations, we're so happy to be a part of that whole thing. So let's talk about skill migration, general skill migration, basing ourselves in Queensland. People probably would have heard BSMQ, Business and Skill Migration Queensland. That's the authority who nominates or regulates the migration program for Queensland.
Yeah.
So just giving a bit of background, if you want to refresh, if you need, you can apply for permanent residency through general skill migration independently. If you go through 189 category, you don't need a sponsor, but the requirements for this category is above 85, 90, and it takes
95 is
experience. The eligibility is only 65. But in our experience, for an invitation to come through, it's quite high. So there are incentives and further points that you get granted if you go through a state. So today we'll be talking about Queensland government, or for some people outside, Brisbane is the main city, but the state is Queensland. So Queensland government's skill migration sector. So with Queensland government, 190 is the permanent pathway, which if you get granted, you get extra 5 points. For you to get 190 visa, your skill needs to be in priority skill occupation list, and you need to fulfill all the requirements for your 189 base categories, such as your age has to be below 45, and you need to have competent English, which is, everyone knows, IELTS 6 or above, and you need to have a skill assessment from the nominated skill. You need to be in good health and character. You need to you can't have any debts to Australian government, or you cannot have any Section 48 at this stage for you to be eligible for 189. So you need to fulfill all those categories, and then also for 190, you need to fulfill, your skill needs to be in PSOL, which are 18 list, 18 categories. I think everyone knows about it. If you need, contact us. Pretty much CEO, managing director, construction project manager, mechanical engineer, general practitioner, resident medical officer, psychiatrist, medical practitioner not elsewhere classified, midwife, and registered nurse in all the other categories. Developer, programmer, software engineer, social worker, maintenance planner. I would like to add a little bit in there. We have and also your points needs to be at least about 80 points for you to get an invitation these days. You need to have 6 months full-time experience, which is 35 hours a week, and you need to have a 1-year job offer to be eligible for 190. And don't get carried away just with the PSOL, because critical list comes into the place as well. Critical list is wide. We have, there are different interpretations, and we have been quite successful achieving some of the occupations other than the PSMOL, which some of our clients normally get not normally aware of. So if you have any doubts, be in touch personally, so we will clarify and give you further advice personalized to you. Then we have 2 categories of 491. 491, the beauty about 491, in Australia, if we talk about any skill migration pathways, 491 is the most talked about and beneficial visa for most of our clients who we speak to, who has just completed their studies or are looking for pathways. So there's a lot of incentives and programs throughout the whole Australia, throughout the state government bodies. They have different programs. Queensland 491 program is quite straightforward and clean, simple system. So Queensland BSMQ has 491 state-sponsored category and 491 small business owner category. With 491 state-sponsored category, you need to have you need to have minimum of 50 points by yourself. The government, the state government gives you 15 points. So 50 points achieving 50 points is not too hard. We have done quite a few videos about it. So if you're most welcome to go have a look at it in our YouTube channel. If you type point test, it'll explain all the point test Sirus migration. It'll explain all the steps that you need to take and what categories you can score the points with, because due to the time restraints, I'm going to limit myself there. So 491 state sponsored category, this is not a permanent residency, by the way. It's a provisional visa, which by fulfilling the conditions, you can achieve your permanent residency within after 3 years. So the requirement for this is you need to have 3 months full-time experience, and that's 35 hours, and a 1-year job offer. And that brings me out to the next category, 491 small business owner.
And I'm going to leave you here. I'll leave you in the good hands of Azura, because he's very good at this small business. I've got to go and jump into another Zoom meeting, so I'll catch up with you guys later.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So thank you for excusing Willem from the session. Sorry, we had another meeting organized. So talking about 491 small business owner, the rules are changed. Rules have changed a little bit. So from 1st of April, which is coming in a couple of days, you're required to invest $100,000 into a business in a regional area in Queensland, which is, as I always say, anywhere outer Greater Brisbane, which is Caloundra upwards, or Sunshine Coast, Toowoomba, or Gold Coast and beyond. So if you purchase a business with solely yourself, so you need to be a sole owner, which is 100% ownership for you, and you need to to the purchase price has to be a minimum of $100,000, and you need to have 2 years. The business needs to be at least 2 years business, 2 years old, and it cannot be a home-based business. Sometimes we've seen certain business like, for example, cleaning business or commercial cleaning, home domestic cleaning, written few down. Handyman sometimes, plumbing services. Some of them we base ourselves in from home, and they sole trader based home-based businesses done by yourself, so they're not qualified. Other than that, you need to have a skill assessment and full-time work rights to get there. So this is not, so for you to be eligible for this visa, it's not only for students who's in 485. Remember, you need to have a skill assessment and full-time work rights. So sometimes we have seen clients who are in subclass 500 studying masters. So the partner has full-time work rights, and these partners could be qualified to do a skill assessment. So if you're in a master's degree with full-time work rights for your spouse, or who is also qualified to have a skill assessment, or if you're in a 482 visa as a dependent who's got full-time work experience, or if you're a 485 or 485 dependent, or 494 dependent, or 186 dependent, or 188 dependent. So any of those dependents or main applicants in 485, that sort of categories, if you have full-time work rights and you're also eligible to get skill assessment from your nominated skill category, it doesn't, the business that you're purchasing does not necessarily have to be the same nominated occupation related business. The only thing is you need to have that business from a regional area and operate it for 6 months. Then you can apply for 491 small business category. So, as I said earlier, this 491 visa program in Queensland is quite straightforward and simple. So there are a lot of opportunities. Talking with the relevant authorities, the communications suggest, in my personal opinion, there is an invitation round due to come from BSMQ in a couple of weeks in April. I would highly doubt the 190 or 188 would be invited or be available for clients in the April session. So keep an eye on 491. 491, as I said, has two categories: 491 small business owner and 491 state sponsored. So if you need any further support with this information, please give us a call or contact us via any of these information that are listed on in the comment section below. Let's talk about, I think that concludes the 491 category. I think we have taken a fair bit of time, but I will try to answer some of these questions that you have listed here. And if I couldn't get through to all the questions, I will then encourage you to, if you're coming from YouTube, please note that we will repost this video as soon as we finish. So please comment again in there if your question's not been answered. If it's Facebook, we will endeavor to type the answer below your question. And yeah, so we will try to get to as many questions as possible now, and I will go to thank you for putting all these questions. I've got a fair bit of questions, so I'll answer as many as I can. Then if not, as I said, I will repost it. So I'll start from YouTube now. The question I've got here is from Jabamani Mohan. Any preferences will be given to the students who work during the pandemic at malls, food delivery, etc. In PR calculations. The only preference is if you could fit yourself into critical list categories. There is no specific incentive per food delivery, etc. But there are incentives. So depending on your work experience and other things, just by delivering food, etc., you would not be qualified. And I hope that answers. Ash M, I noticed. Thanks for coming back again today. I've noticed you joined us yesterday during the education session with Mickey as well. So I have a question regarding New South Wales 19 visa. Study 3 semesters. So sorry, there's no questions. I know you have some questions about 190 visa. New South Wales. I can't see the question. So maybe send us an email with the full background through admin@sirus.com.au. It's admin@sirus.com.au, which is listed down below. So we will send you an answer to that. Lalit BB, if I study 3 semesters online due to COVID, will be claim 5 points in GSM? Obviously, yes, but you need to be under a student visa. So if you're in a student visa, then you can claim it. To prove the residence in New South Wales for 190, this is from Ash. In case share house, is ledger is enough instead of rental agreement? Of course, but we have to show you utilities bills and stuff like that too. So the phone bills, etc., etc. Shared house is okay, but we need to give further details, utility bills, etc., to prove that. So if you have any further questions, I think you have few questions, Ash. I'm going to go into the other person because there are few other questions from you, which we will come back to you. Mario, if you could please write it down. And Ash, if you could kindly send us an email with your email address to admin@sirus.com.au. We've got your questions here. We will endeavor to respond back to you. Harshan Wadivel. Hi, is converting a visit visa to a student visa easier than getting student visa from Sri Lanka? We have discussed this few times. Some people are genuinely visiting Australia and then converting into a student while they're visiting. They find other opportunities and etc. But it's again a long journey if you do it that way, because you're coming for a holiday and all of a sudden you need to prepare the paperwork and get things ready. So my suggestion is we do have offices, several offices in Sri Lanka, one in Colombo in the capital, one in Vennapur, and please be in touch. We will educate you how to get a proper student visa properly. I mean, if you have the proper background and intention to study genuinely, then I would say don't use a visitor visa as a pathway to get to a student visa, which is not recommendable, and it can complicate things. But we have seen people. We can, if you're in a student visitor visa now in Australia, and you have, I mean, we've seen people who are in visitor visas and they cannot move back or travel, and they consider having study pathways rather than wasting time and sitting at home. So in that way, it'll be a good idea. But for just to travel to Australia, use a visitor pathway is not recommendable. I wouldn't. If the visa categories have different requirements and different intention for a reason. So if you use it the right way, your pathway is clear. You don't have to go through cancellations, refusals, hard way. You have pre-eligibility requirements that you need to fulfill, and you can always, they're very simple and fair requirements in most of the visas. So if you fulfill them, you can always achieve the visa. And if you fulfill your conditions and requirements while you're staying in Australia, you always have proper pathways. So it's just your migration pathway design is critical, and you have to get it done. Get proper advice from a good registered migration agent who has broad knowledge about skill migration information requirements, as well as if you're in business, if you want to expand your business, you need to have a person who's got experience in business migration, or if you have skills to go into work. Don't use other visas, in my opinion, to bridge a pathway. So I'm sorry, it's my own opinion, and I would say I don't like people getting visa cancelled and refused. So Rupal Kanuja, you have a question about, after applying for a subclass 188 visa, as this visa is in priority, how much time it take to visa to grant? So Rupal, 188 visa has it's a invitation only visa category, which means you need to fulfill the state requirement and the federal government requirements, which is also Department of Home Affairs requirements. The first step, getting a visa application into the system for 188A visa, is you have to first get a nomination expression of interest extended to the relevant state authority, and then you have to provide the proper business plans and the information and explain how you are eligible for this category, and then you get once you get an invitation, you apply for the federal government. Our recent experience, we've seen most of the state governments working very quite proactively in 188A category, and within several weeks' time, we should be able to get the invitation, depending on the state again. Today, hence, we talk about BSMQ a lot, the Queensland a lot, Sunshine State, very good for renewable energy and solar power and certain investments. So BSMQ, we've seen within a number of weeks, they are very kind to approve the applications or provide the invitation. So after the invitation, you then have to apply for the Department of Home Affairs with your visa application. From that, average experience is about 18 months to 2 years. But recently, we have received visas granted within around the year mark. So this varies depending on the applications and how busy the department officers are. But we are seeing an extremely expedited process at the moment. So we have received several several visas this month. So I would say it could be average 18 months, but anywhere from 12 to 24 months. Having said that, also remember 188A visa, you may be able to apply for a travel exemption as well if you receive this visa. So should you receive the 188 visa, you can always apply for the next travel exemption for yourself and your family to travel to Australia if you included them in the application. So I've got I've got another question from Shishir Majithia. Should I apply for 132 visa or 188A visa? The difference is the requirements are a bit different. To apply for 132 visa, you need to have a significant business history. So for me to explain the full eligibility criteria at the moment is too short. So I will. I think our team has already sent you an email, Shishir. So if you can apply for 132, I highly recommend, because it's a permanent residency. If you can't, you can still go through 188A. But please remember, 132 visa currently has only a few months left to apply. So if you're going into 132, you need to put that application in fairly quickly. I would like to check. Our time's actually gone past significantly, but I will check. Do we have many questions from Facebook? So I will probably go through this ones now. So Shishir is looking for a business visa in Perth. Very good. Perth's got good business visa program, and also look, with business visas, what I experience is there is no set eligibility. I mean, there is a set eligibility, but there are significant talents out there, significant businesses. I was talking to BSMQ yesterday and also explained, if you have a good history and a plan behind you, and if you're ready to contribute to Australian economy and expand your business experience and share your business experience here, there can always be an opportunities existing. So if you believe you have good business experience and you're expecting to expand your business, please be in touch. I'm very keen to support your visa, and we will help you all the way and share our knowledge. I think we have lots of questions. I don't know if I could get through to all this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the session now, but we will endeavor to answer more questions personally with you after reposting this video. If we haven't answered your questions, please be kind enough to repost your video, your question again, or send us an email at admin@sirus.com.au, or call us by 07 within Australia, 07 3361 8177. So 3361 8177, or if you're calling interstate, it's 13000 74787. It's 13000 Sirus. Recapping the whole session, we talked about the business visa changes. Please be mindful, there is a change coming up on 1st of July 2021, which is the end of the new program, end of the financial year for 2021. Then there'll be a brand new, there will be a new experience that you will go through with the eligibilities and the visa eligibilities and the requirements. 190, we talked about BSMQ program, 190 and 491. 190 is the direct permanent pathway, which state, if you get invited, you get 5 points from the state governments, and the eligibility requirement is you need to be within the PSMOL, priority priority skill occupation list, PSOL, or within the critical list. And then you need to have 6 months full-time work experience and 1 year job offer. Or you have the 491 provisional pathway. There are two 491 provisional pathways, state-sponsored and also small business operator. If you go through the 491, state-sponsored category, it's a lot less requirements. You have to only have 50 points by your own, and the state provides you 15 points, but it's only a provisional visa, which leads to permanent residency, which gives you unlimited work rights or the full-time work rights, etc., etc. And 491 small business ownership is the next one. So you need to have a skill assessment, full-time work rights. You can then go into a regional area, purchase a business. It doesn't have to relate to your nominated skill, but you have to spend $100,000 in purchase price, and you need to operate it for at least 6 months before you apply for the 491 small business owner. And then you get the 491 visa and become a permanent resident after 3 years, fulfilling the requirements. So I hope I made it clear, and we are about to release a video on Queensland business general skill migration categories too. That'll simplify and explain further. If you're studying and if you're wanting to fit yourself in there in any of these programs or categories, we have a qualified education team within the corporation as well, and also the migration teams right behind you. Be in touch with us. We will educate you as much as we can within the time frames. So thank you very much for joining me. If I couldn't answer all the questions, we will type your answers in the questions, the comment section below. Please type your question again when we repost the video in another 5-10 minutes. And if you have an urgent question, please call us directly. Otherwise, stay safe. Have a great weekend coming up, and we look forward to talk to you with another interesting topic next Thursday at midday. Thank you very much.